Morning, folks. Rotten day, so no bike ride for us lads along the old lads along the River Wandle. It was soaking wet, so the morning, or do one or two this morning of this size is this is A4, just about. I got it wrong, but it's a lovely paper. It's oil paper, and it has a plastic backing to it. So it's a really nice thing to work on. I don't know what I'm going to do, but just a couple of points. I do get the odd person. I'm sure all of us painters do. So I'd like to learn to paint, but I can't be a master like you. And I have to say that I never started off with any talent. That came, or if I've got any talent, that came much later on after years of practice. There's no shortcut with this. There are people that are better than you. There'll always be that. But my saying to them is I didn't quit when I couldn't do it. Okay, when I couldn't quit. I didn't quit when I couldn't do it. So it's all there. And also another tip is, if they haven't already, just use a few colours. I use 5 or 6 colours. And on here I've got cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, ultramarine, red, which is this one's vermilion. It can be cadmium red, and burnt sienna with this pile of black here, which doesn't count as a colour. It's a neutral, and you don't use a lot of it, but it saves you wasting money. There's so many. I used to belong to quite a large thriving art club, and there were lovely ladies there, elderly ladies mainly, who had the money, and they would buy whacking great tins of flat watercolour things. I'm struggling for words there. And they had about 100 different colours in the box. Now, 100 colours. What happens with them? You either don't use them or you make a load of mud with them, because you can never get used to that many colours on a palette. But they did. They would sit in a chair with a support that had a bit of sponge underneath that my late friend Fred Gillespie designed. I'm glad I haven't got one. And there they would sit and natter and do all their painting. And, well, what can I say? Didn't get anywhere. So save your money. Don't waste all your money on buying expensive brushes and paints. These are quite cheap paints. They're student quality, so it shouldn't put off anybody. I got sort of brushes like that I bought over the years, and my favourite brushes are these. These are supposed to be 1-inch varnish brushes, but they're very good for blocking in. And for texture, I've got these worn-out brushes. There you are. That's all you need, really. In fact, I use quite a few brushes. Just that a quarter of them will be similar. I have got a big brush like this, a big mop brush, but I don't use it. Just keep that there a bit, because if I lift it for any length of time, the focus goes into auto. So here we go. So I use reference material. Mostly I don't. I just make these things up as I go along. I never used to be able to do that, but I've always been a bit cagey when it comes to what you use for. You don't learn really by asking people what they use and not trying it yourself. You've got to have a go. You've got to get stuck into the paints. They're not that expensive. The tubes I buy, the student quality, is about £12–14. Sounds a lot, but it's a lot of paint. And I buy them so I don't have to spend good money on paint. Right, anything else you want to know? Oh yes, I've also got quite a large archive of over 2,500 demos on my channel. You've got easy access to them. You just go back in time, and they're all on sheets of, I think, 30 videos per sheet or for videos, and just go back and see how I've developed through the years. I'm still developing, even at my age. You just don't. You've got to do it. It's no good thinking about it. You've got to pitch in, get yourself a bit of MDF for a palette. So I've got an expensive easel here, but I've had this for years. It's an Italian Mabef box easel, which is it's good. I've also got a radial easel, which I got through, cost me about £30–40 about 40 years ago. A friend of mine was working for a school, and his mate was an art teacher who I didn't know, and he got me one the price that the schools would pay. And I've got a metal tubular easel. I had a light wooden one, which I gave to a friend. I like it back really, because she doesn't use it. But anyway, so if you've got any questions, just ask them. But there's nothing like trying it out, having a go. Mostly you'll make a mess, which I did, many messes, but you don't quit. If you want to be an artist and you're self-taught like me and most others on it here, just get a few paints. These colours, you can adjust your palette. It's called a palette, the palette with all the colours on, and the colours are the palette. Just try what I've got to start with, or if you're doing oils. It's the same with watercolours. I only use five, 6 watercolours at any one time. Just try it. Don't be prepared to spend a bit of money. That's what I'm really trying to say. And then you won't be able to do it. But if you persevere, you will. And then you can start copying from calendars, like I did. I did one of a water wheel. It's a really, really good painting. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in the confines of my studio. I don't know. But you've got to have a go. But don't quit. The key to it is don't quit. I didn't quit when I couldn't do it. That's my motto. Okay, right, here we go. Now, I'm going to put a sky in, bit of linseed. Let's have a bit of that, bit of orange. If you with oil, you can change everything as you go. Bit of red. I had an eye tester a week or so ago, and I haven't had an eye test since I left the army, voluntary, in 1967. My eyes have lasted all this time, but it just showed up that I've got a cataract in my right eye, and I've just got the long-sighted one that's on my right eye, and I'm going to hopefully pick up the reading glasses this afternoon. You wouldn't think that's right. Slightly abstract, this one. Well, most of my stuff is slightly abstract. I just put the paint on, work away at it, and see where it goes. You can adjust it. Let's have a bit of darker stuff here. there's a basis of something. Texture. Texture is very, very important in painting, as is any other technique. It's creating an impression of detail when there isn't any detail. And now we've got lovely tree colours, a bit of black and a bit of yellow. Well, just a start. Put a break in there in those trees. Black. Black and yellow make green. Oh. We make a bigger one here. Let's get that down there. There, look at that. But where do we go from here? I ask myself. We've got to put in some nice foreground and some contrast. Alright, there we go. Let's go in with this bit of orangey colour. To move in my chair. A bit of ochre in there. Oh, I'm going to go back with that, so I like that darker colour. Bit of white. See, the old brush was worn out, but it still gives good service. It does texture. No, I'm just making this up. I'm just following the brush, really. So I just love doing this. I'm trying to create something beautiful with a few colours. Bit of impasto. Impasto is just a thick colour, thick pigment. Half going through there. I mean, I do this for second nature now. It's great fun to do. Just abandon yourself. Just enjoy the process of painting, not the end result. I didn't have any of this planned. This is where we want counter change in here. As that tree comes down behind that one. Get a bit of dark in there. Now the paint is drying through, or soaking through the paper. Oh, just put a bit of grass in at the back. Right, we're going to do something with that. So we'll have a nice dark green. There, I want to liven that up a bit. I did do something with that sky. I'm only using one brush. You see, you don't need 10 brushes to do one picture. That's sort of dried off that. Right, okay, let's go back to the red and the blue, bit of white. You know, I'm just trying to demonstrate what you can do without thinking. There's a little bit of blue in it. Bit of a sort of a bluish cloud. A nice sort of a yellow light in there. A bit of white. No, let's put some bright in there now. Put Payne's Grey. Not Payne's Grey. I'm not using Payne's Grey, am I? Right, put a nice bit of yellowy orange in here. Catching that light in the sky. Now, right, they're going to bring this to life somehow. So we've gone from bright to very dark. So let's get some more yellow out, yellow and red, because they really complement each other. Let's just put a little bit out there. And red. So I've got two tubes of red. I've got this vermilion and I've got some cadmium red. Right, and then we just go for a nice bright. Just highlighting. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Let's get that a bit lighter even. Now I need some brighter stuff in the. Ooh, come on, very dark. I'm not going to put the light on because the light adjusts in the camera, but let's get a bit of a... Right, okay, well there's a bit of a mess, but it's a painting and it takes you nearer to where you want to be. Just by having a go and learning how to do it. Just don't be frightened of it, it's only paint. Right, right, we'll put it in a mount. There's my cloth, look, filthy. Put it in a mount, just say dismantle it. Let's say put that there. Right, I'll take that off and put the mount on. Okay, well there we are. Now I thoroughly enjoy doing that. I've got a painting out of it. It doesn't represent anything other than texture. And I'll do another one later. I quite like that. That's a bit different. Just putting that bit of light in the sky balances the rest of the painting. But it is an abstract. You can call it a meadow, whatever you like. No figures or anything. God, it has got dark in there. Well, you can't see, but... So I'll photograph this and get it uploaded for you, download it for you, and I might come back and do another one. But I will clean my brush first. I clean my brushes, my oil brushes in Fairy liquid. It's a washing up liquid. It's very, very good, very powerful, and it gives you nice soft hands as well. So thanks for watching, folks. I'll sort that out and do another one. Bye bye.